Virtual assistants for me are necessary and they can really do anything. They can literally do anything in your business. You just have to go out there and look and put out a job post, and we're gonna talk about this. So while it might not make a huge difference to hire somebody to do something that saves an hour or two a week, add that up over a month, add that up over a year. You know, if you add something up that's only an hour a day over a year, that's like multiple work weeks, right? It's crazy. Hey, what's going on everybody? Steve here, Rake and Profit over at rakeandprofit.com. And in this video, I want to talk about how I manage my 7-figure online business with the help of virtual assistants. Now, one of the biggest struggles that entrepreneurs are going to run into when they're trying to grow their business is essentially finding enough time to do the most important things in your business that actually push the business forward and that actually, helps you to grow your business, revenues, profits, so on and so forth. But one of the things that holds people back is they don't believe that they can outsource their work to other people. Whether that's, a physical employee that you manage here in the United States or outsourcing and hiring someone overseas. And a couple problems people face is one, if you hire someone in the States, it's really expensive and you got to pay for workman's comp, the wages are high, you've got to have a physical space, so on and so forth. And then if you hire someone overseas, you're asking yourself the question, can I trust them? What if they scam me? I've heard that you could hire them for a couple dollars an hour, $5 an hour, $10 an hour, but can I trust them? Are they really going to be able to do skilled specialty work, or am I going to be busting my butt managing them, trying to quality control, so on and so forth. And that's what I want to talk about in this video, because I've hired well over 100 virtual assistants in my business from all different type of tasks, from running Facebook ads to managing my e-commerce business to building websites, graphics, editing my YouTube videos, thumbnails, writing, editing, the list goes on and on and on, customer service, admin support, taking phone calls. We'll talk a little bit more about that. But if I didn't hire all of these amazing virtual assistants I use a couple websites, but my favorite website is onlinejobs.ph. I'll put a link to that down below. If I didn't hire them, I'd be stuck in my business doing all the things that really don't matter. And one book that I'd like to recommend is called The E-Myth. I'll put a link to that down below as well. And that talks about the importance of figuring out what are the 1, 2, 3 things in your business that are really helping you grow your business. For example, let's just say that you're running an e-commerce business. Maybe you have a Shopify store, you're running an eBay business. The number one thing for you is going to be bringing new products to the market, whether that's putting them on your website or going out to thrift stores, garage sales, yard sales, estate sales, and finding new product. That's going to be one of the number one things that you're going to have to do. But what if you're stuck doing all the admin stuff and taking pictures and measuring clothing and dealing with refunds and issues and all that stuff? You're not really growing your business. So it's so important to hire people to help you. But another limiting belief people have is, well, what if I don't have enough money? It's expensive. One of the number one reasons I love hiring virtual assistants, especially from the Philippines, because I think that they're the most trusted, the most loyal, the hardest working, and they're very inexpensive. And again, I use onlinejobs.ph. I love hiring them because they're extremely skilled. They do a great job, and I've hired them in so many different, parts of my business that it's been an absolute game changer. So this video is really going to be for anybody who maybe you feel like I don't have enough time to grow my business, or maybe you're doing things in your business that you absolutely hate, or maybe you want to expand your business but you don't have any more time and you're stressed out and you don't know what to do. This video is going to be perfect for you. So let's get into what a virtual assistant is. So a virtual assistant is essentially someone who helps you in your business, just like an employee. But for me, I hire my virtual assistants overseas, mostly from the Philippines, on a website called onlinejobs.ph, and I'll show you exactly how you can sign up and hire somebody and go through that process. It's really simple. But a virtual assistant can help you in all different areas of your business. They're essentially a teammate. They're somebody that works for you. They're typically overseas, so you're not having to deal with all the different things that are associated with having an employee and 1099s and so on and so forth. But it's essentially like having someone on your team who pretty much does whatever it is that you want them to do. You have to manage them, you have to give them tasks, you have to give them goals and outcomes, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. But it's really similar to somebody in the physical world working for you, but it's all digital, it's virtual, it's through the computer or through your phone, and that's how I manage most of my virtual assistants. Now I want to talk about, are virtual assistants actually skilled? Is it worth trusting a virtual assistant? Are virtual assistants just as the name kind of says? Is it just an assistant? Do they actually have skills? Well, I'll tell you right now that some of the virtual assistants that work in my business, and we've sold millions of dollars online over the last 5 years, some of the virtual assistants are 10 to 20 times smarter than me in various areas, such as video editing, writing, editing. If anybody sells on Shopify, or maybe you have a product that you sell on Teachable or Kajabi, or maybe you have to build pages to promote your products through ClickFunnels. I don't know how to do any of that. I have virtual assistants doing all of this, and I'm gonna give you some great tips for how to hire them and kind of how I go through the process. But yes, virtual assistants are absolutely skilled. Now, there are some virtual assistants out there who are known as, general virtual assistants, who are gonna just help you with emails and basic admin stuff and, setting up your calendar and different tasks associated with Word and whatnot. And a lot of them might not be very skilled, but you can hire a lot of them for as little as $1, $2, $3 an hour, who can free up your time. And now let me ask you a question. Take a look at your business, take a look at your operation, and ask yourself, how much is my time worth? When's the last time you've taken some time to evaluate what your time is worth? And you can create that number by just jotting down some numbers. How much money did I make? How much profit did I make? How much time am I spending? And then just divide your total profit by the time you spent, and you'll know how much your time is worth per hour. If your time is worth $40, $50, $60 an hour, even $20 an hour, why are you doing the tasks in your business that you can outsource to somebody for $3 an hour or $5 an hour? I have some people in my business, virtual assistants, that I pay over $20 an hour. But for me, it's worth it because my time is worth multiple hundreds of dollars per hour. So why would I do that? And also, I'm no good at some of these tasks. I don't know how to deal with building websites and WordPress and Shopify and ClickFunnels. And it's not really adding to my bottom line. It's not helping me to grow my business. So virtual assistants for me are necessary, and they can really do anything. They can literally do anything in your business. You just have to go out there and look and put out a job post, and we're gonna talk about this. So let me actually dive into my computer right now and share with you the website that I use to do all of this. And I know for some people it might sound like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. Like, I don't know how to hire someone. I don't know how to manage them. Like, how do I find somebody that I need? Like, how do I even figure out what it is that I want in my business to outsource? I'm gonna tell you right now, take a deep breath, because while it does seem overwhelming at first and it can seem like such a daunting task, what I would do and what I would recommend is to just take out a piece of paper and just write down all the things that you do in your business on a daily basis. So what are the things that you do in your business on a daily basis, from sourcing to taking pictures to launching new products to dealing with refunds and customer service, or maybe it's editing your videos or creating thumbnails? Write it all down and just start with the simplest thing possible. Maybe something that really isn't worth your time, something that you don't like, something that maybe takes a lot of time that you're like, what, I know I could hire someone for $3 an hour, $4 an hour, or maybe even just like general admin tasks, like checking your email or just answering questions, comments on YouTube. I mean, there's all different types of things that you can outsource. And just create a list and just find one thing. And while it might not make a huge difference to hire somebody to do something that saves an hour or two a week, add that up over a month, add that up over a year. If you add something up that's only an hour a day over a year, that's like multiple work weeks, right? It's crazy. So, I would start there and then essentially go over to onlinejobs.ph. Now, again, there's multiple websites that you can use. I like onlinejobs.ph because a couple reasons is my good buddy John actually is the creator of this website, and he's been running this for years and does a fantastic job. but also because I love working with Filipino virtual assistants. They're loyal, they're hardworking, they're trustworthy, and I've just had my best experiences working with folks like this on the website. So I would recommend checking this out. There are other websites out there, but this is typically you're gonna find the most inexpensive virtual assistants, the most trustworthy, and you can really hire to do all different types of things. So yeah, what you're gonna wanna do is head over to onlinejobs.ph and you can set up an account over here. And what you're gonna wanna do is go over to post a job right here. So when you get over here, you're gonna have to fill out some information. Job title in terms of what you're looking for, and here are some that I've looked for in the past. Ebook creator, maybe someone for thumbnails, maybe a general virtual assistant. Maybe you need someone to help with ClickFunnels or to build a website development. Maybe you need someone to do sales. Maybe you need someone to write an ebook or to edit. This is where you put the job title. Now here you can choose type of employment, full-time, part-time, freelance. I usually just leave it at any. I usually don't change that up. And now here's where you're gonna wanna write your job description. Now, there's a couple tips that I wanna share with you here when you are writing a job description. And there's a lot of different ways that you can go about actually doing this. And I wanna leave another resource down below before I get into this. John, who's the actual creator of onlinejobs.ph, he's got a really cool resource. It's called onevaaway.com that is actually gonna walk you through this entire process in much better depth than I'm gonna be able to do. And he's been doing this for a lot longer than I have as well. So I definitely want you to check that out. If you want to get more detail in terms of how to find your first VA, how to do it the right way, and how to find someone who really is going to stick around and be able to do a great job. So let's get back to the video. So here, what I like to do is write out a couple different things. So let's say that I'm looking for someone to create, YouTube thumbnails for me. So something I would do is sort of like this. Hey, I'm looking to hire someone, we'll just say full-time, to create YouTube thumbnails on my YouTube channel. I am looking for someone who has experience doing this and for someone who can work every day for me. So I'm describing what it is I'm looking for, and then typically what I'll do is I'll put forth various things that I'm looking for in a person, maybe in terms of the days that they could work, the amount of time they can work, their availability. Please have experience and make sure that you include at least 5 samples of work in your first response. Now, typically for something like this, it's pretty simple, but typically what I like to do is I like to think through exactly who it is I'm looking for. What skills do they possess? What's their availability? I don't actually create really long job descriptions, and the reason is because I like to talk more with people, either on Skype or on Facebook, or a lot of times what I like to do, because sometimes Skype and Facebook isn't the best because virtual assistants will talk a big game, but at the end of the day, how do they actually perform? Sometimes what I like to do is actually give them a task right here in the job description. So what I'll say sometimes is, if I don't write this out saying include 5 samples, what I might actually do is something like this. Inside this job application, I've included a picture and some text for you to create a sample thumbnail for me. So what you can do is you can actually include a link in here to like a Google Drive or a Dropbox that shares a picture with like a text. And then what you could do, instead of basing your hiring or your next phase on what they say, which everybody can talk a big game, is you can actually have them create a sample of work. Another thing that I like to do is sometimes I like to have them create a response video for me. So say I'm looking to hire somebody for maybe phone sales to close on educational programs that we're selling. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll say, hey, in order to apply for this video, please include a 5-minute video sharing how you would close a client in this situation. And you can have them, you can kind of do like a role play. So what you're doing is you're putting them to the test. Other things that you can do as well is you can just hire 5 people right off the bat and say that it's going to be a test for the first week, and we're actually hiring 5 people and we're looking to hire 2 at the end of the day based on your results. So that's another thing that you can do as well. So when it comes to the description, I mean, really you're just describing what it is you're looking for, who it is you're looking for, what are their qualities. You can also mention a little bit about your business in terms of, my YouTube channel is Rake and Profit, and I have, 155,000 subscribers, so on and so forth, and give them a little feedback. And then you could also ask them a question, right? So sometimes I'll say my YouTube channel is Rake and Profit. Please send in your first response how many subscribers I have, just to make sure you are excited about this job. Something like that. Now, I know it sounds kind of corny, but what I'm doing as well is filtering through to make sure that the people who are actually applying for these jobs are actually reading the job. Because one of the issues that you'll deal with sometimes is people will just send you a generic resume. And then it takes all this time to have to go through all these applications and weed them out and filter them out and have conversations. And then you don't know who to hire and who to test out. So this is what I'll do sometimes, is just weed them out by saying, in your first response, put the amount of subscribers in the title. So then if I get 50 responses, I'm only gonna open up the ones that have 155K subscribers in the title. So then I'm not wasting my time with people who are just messing around and just hiring to every single job. Because for me, I want to hire someone who's committed, who pays attention to the detail, who's a great communicator, who's an excellent listener, who could follow directions, who takes this job serious. So, I mean, it's really simple. Once you fill that out, then what you can do is you can put a wage and salary here as well. So if you actually go to onlinejobs.ph, there's some great resources and guides for outsourcing that I would definitely recommend checking out as well. Right here, how to create freedom, how to hire a rockstar Filipino virtual assistant. So it'll share, a little bit more in terms of how much to pay, so on and so forth. All right, so back to the job post. So in terms of wage and salary, this is really going to depend. There's a couple ways that you can hire virtual assistants in the Philippines. One is hourly, and then one is based on just like a monthly wage. For me, I prefer personally to do hourly, just because my business is always changing all the time, and sometimes I can't guarantee that I could pay, a YouTube designer X amount every single month, because my business is changing. Sometimes I'm taking a couple weeks, a month off from YouTube. And the same thing goes with writers and whatnot. I prefer personally to hire freelancers on an hourly basis. And onlinejobs.ph actually has a really cool software built in that actually will track their screen. So it'll take a screen record of their screen. So you'll be able to kind of pretty much spy on them to see what they're doing and how much they're working. But the way that I do it is I have my virtual assistants create Google spreadsheets to track their time every day. And then every single day I have them send me a Google Doc update of what they did and how much time they spent, just so I can kind of keep an eye on them and manage them that way. So the wage and salary is really going to depend, but typically for just a general virtual assistant who's doing like admin tasks, so on and so forth, you could really spend anywhere from, as little as $1 per hour upwards to, $3 to $4 an hour for general admin work. For video editing, typically I found it's around $5 to $10 an hour. For graphic design, I found that it's somewhere between $3 to $8 an hour. For writing and editing, it depends on the quality, but from anywhere from $3 an hour upwards to $6 to $7 an hour. So those are just some general rules of thumb. When it comes to website design and more advanced stuff, you could be looking as little as $5 an hour upwards to $20 to $30 an hour, just depending on what websites you hire on and the skills that you're looking for. But with onlinejobs.ph, it's usually between $5 to $15 for more advanced stuff, which is really great because compared to the States, those jobs could be 5 to 15 times the hourly rate, seriously, for finding great web developers and people who could design websites and upload catalogs and Shopify stuff and product research. I mean, these things can get extremely expensive. So once you've filled that out, what you're gonna wanna do is choose a primary skill, a secondary skill, and another secondary skill. And this is just going to help onlinejobs.ph to match you up with some of the correct virtual assistants. So right here, we are looking for a thumbnail designer. And I should probably finish this right here. Hi, I'm looking to hire someone full-time to create YouTube thumbnails on YouTube. On my YouTube channel, I'm looking for someone who has experience doing this and for someone who can work for me every day. I'm just gonna leave this here as an example just for time's sake. But again, you're gonna wanna put a couple lines in there to weed people out. And again, I would recommend for something like this to put a Google link going right into your drive with like a sample text and a sample thumbnail, and just make sure to require samples for each, applicant, or else you're gonna waste a ton of time. So for here, let's go into graphics and multimedia will be a great one. And let's see, you just wanna kind of match it up as best as you can. Graphics editing will be great. Another great skill would be probably go back into graphics design because this is pretty straightforward. Maybe someone who's educated with Photoshop would be great. And then for the last one, we'll just, maybe it'd be great if they had some video editing skills as well. Again, this doesn't really matter much. And then you would hit post your job. So I'm gonna just post this right here. It looks like it's not gonna let me because I didn't fill out this information. So once you complete your job posting, you're gonna get people that apply to your job. It's gonna show you how many people have hit your page, how many have applied. When you click into it, you're gonna be able to respond to your applicants. You're gonna be able to chat with them, communicate with them. For me, I like to get them onto either Facebook, or I like to get them onto an email and set them up for either a call if I wanna hire them, or sometimes I'll just hire them directly on the spot, just depending on some of the things that I mentioned before. But it's really simple. I love using onlinejobs.ph. It's really easy. And again, if you're having any difficulty with this or you're nervous, definitely check out the website onevaaway.com. This is a great resource for getting started and finding your first Filipino virtual assistant. So it's definitely a great resource for being able to find your first Filipino virtual assistant. And it'll definitely help you to assure that you're able to really get moving forward in the right direction quickly. So hopefully you found this video valuable. And again, if it wasn't for the hundreds of virtual assistants that I've hired in my business would probably still be at 5 figures. So don't overwhelm yourself. Don't go too crazy with this in the beginning. I would just sign up for an account. Again, write out exactly all the tasks that you're doing in your business. Find, the easiest one that you could outsource and start building up that experience. That's the key. Hire your first virtual assistant, go through that process, get comfortable, and slowly over time, you'll start to be able to hand off more and more and more stuff, and you'll build that relationship. And a lot of times what I actually end up doing is building relationships with some of their friends or family members and start hiring more and more people onto my team that are trusted. And that's how I've been able to build my business, by focusing on the things that are most important. And anytime I'm growing my business, if there's something I don't know how to do, or I'm stuck, or have you ever been stuck in part of your business for 3, 4, 5 hours and you're like, you're pulling out your hair. I mean, if I had some hair, I'd pull it out. And you're just like, I can't do this. Hire a virtual assistant. Check out onevaaway.com to get started, to blast through that first obstacle. Go to onlinejobs.ph, sign up, create your list of all the things that you want or all the things that you do in your business, and then pick one thing that you want to outsource. Go from there, take it step by step. And I'm telling you right now, over 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, you're gonna free up so much time in your business that you're gonna be able to focus on the most important things. You're gonna be able to alleviate stress. You're gonna be happier, and your business is gonna grow leaps and bounds because again, you're focusing on what's most important. But definitely check out the book E-Myth. It was a great book. It was a great read. And take everything that I applied here and go out and do it yourself. It's very low risk and the upside is absolutely huge. So with that being said, we'll see you in the next video. Check the links down below for more resources. If you have any questions or comments, leave a comment down below. Chat soon. Bye.